This is Buddy, super pet number 1. Say hi, pal. What do you take? What do you take? Help us. Save us. This is super pet number 2. Minnie, say hi. What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking DC's League of Super Pets, the brand new animated movie with a stacked voice cast. We're gonna dive into it. Is it worth a watch? Let's do it. So Krypto the Superdog and Superman are inseparable best friends, sharing the same superpowers and fighting crime side by side in Metropolis. However, Krypto must master his own powers for a rescue mission when Superman is kidnapped. This film is, of course, rated PG. It's absolutely a movie you're going to take the whole family to, take the kids, but it's PG for action, mild violence, language, and rude humor. There are like curse words in this movie that are bleeped out. Didn't quite understand that because the tone they're going for is almost solely for kids, but it's one that I feel like is going to heavily appeal to that crowd. It's also appealing to dog lovers and dog owners. You look at the relationship between Superman and Krypto, voiced by John Krasinski and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who is our title character of Krypto. Krypto is not your average man's best friend, in this case, Superman's best friend. He does things a bit differently. He does not operate like your standard canine pal, and that's something that Superman is getting a little, I don't want to say annoyed with, but he's thinking to himself, how can I help Krypto fit in with the other dogs? How can we switch this relationship up just a bit? And it's kind of sad to watch because as Superman and Lois Lane's relationship progresses, that relationship with Krypto is not as strong as maybe it once was, and I like the way that is conveyed by Johnson. You look at the other side of things, Kevin Hart, who plays Ace. Now, that Kevin Hart, Dwayne Johnson dynamic, it always has been there, it always will be there. They don't share the screen as much as I thought they would. It isn't until around the halfway mark when they're truly together, and that's when the adventure really starts, when this diabolical, overly ridiculous plan gets set in motion. I won't say what the plan is, I won't spoil where the movie goes, but it has to do with guinea pigs. So you're watching this, you're seeing the Justice League, having some fun with it, you're going up against Lex Luthor, everything is all fine and dandy, a little bit of style there, you get the cool introductions with the Justice League members, the fights, they're fun enough, but we've seen them before. My issue with the movie, beyond seeing these really cool characters and hearing the voice cast just crush each individual character, from Diego Luna, Mark Maron as Lex Luthor, to, I believe, the MVP of the movie, Keanu Reeves as Batman. We did not get enough Keanu Reeves as Batman. You hear that immediately and you're like, yeah, it fits. It's perfect. And he's doing those little subtle lines that are great. It kind of reminded me of Will Arnett as the Batman in Lego Batman. He's like, man, I miss my parents. It's those kinds of moments that make you smile as a DC fan. And as a DC fan, I got a lot in terms of Easter eggs, in terms of a vast array of characters, and seeing these super pets in action. Because whatever happens with the Justice League, I won't say what happens, and it's up to our canine, feline, whatever they are, right? There's an array of animals here to save the day and go up against this overly ridiculous, somewhat silly, somewhat funny force of evil, and that's the extent of the plot. It didn't quite have that extra level that I needed to appeal to something more than just a group of kids, right? I even saw older, more adult audience members in my movie theater just kind of checking their phones every 5 minutes. It didn't feel like anyone there was interested. It wasn't like 100 people. There's like 30 people, but still, everybody was kind of tuning out. And at one point, even a couple of the kids were tuning out. We had a few kids running up and down the aisles. I don't know if this was as engaging of a story, and it could be where we've seen all of these story beats before. It could be where we've seen these DC characters in better settings. Even the DC animated universe, that is not for kids, absolutely not, but there have been projects that are for kids that work extremely well. We mentioned it already, the Lego Batman movie. I felt that had a compelling plot, a compelling story. You cared so much about the characters. I care about the characters in this movie mostly due to the voice cast and due to the fact that I love Batman and Superman and Flash and, everybody. It's cool to see them on screen. But there wasn't anything to each of their characters other than Krypto, who does have a lot to do in this film. But even his lines were somewhat cliche and somewhat familiar. And it was to the point where I said, it feels like the script is just lazy for the sake of being lazy. It's hitting every story beat that you expect when it's trying to be emotional. There are moments where it is emotional because, I mean, I have 2 dogs. I love my dogs. You give me a story like that, you are going to feel something. But it wasn't because of the writing as much as it was the fact that I love dogs. And that's going to pull on some heartstrings. But this movie doesn't do a great job of appealing to the kids and the people taking the kids to the theater. And if you're looking for a movie solely for younger children, then I think this is going to give it to you. But even then, you look at the tonal inconsistency, they're bleeping out curse words, there's 1 or 2 jokes in there for adults, and I'm like, why are you doing that when you were doing this over here? It wasn't as consistent as maybe it needed to be. But again, the animation is fun enough, and these characters can be really entertaining at times. Before I give you my score, you watching DC's League of Super Pets, and what DC movie coming out are you most excited for? Super Pets is familiar and doesn't feel as inventive as it needed to be with such a conventional story. The voice cast is great regardless, and kids may enjoy it. My score, though, is a 50% right down the middle. Can you hear my voice going out? Allergies, man. They're killing me this summer. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have a review for Vengeance coming out tomorrow. Some more fun lists. We have some great movies dropping next weekend. Bullet Train. That's going to be fun. All right, guys. I'll see you soon.